So I recently restarted this channel. I started it years ago when I was in the Bentinho Massaro club. I attended I think it was 2017. I attended a retreat in the Netherlands, led by this spiritual teacher. He doesn't really call himself a teacher, I think, but yeah, back then he did seem like a good guy. I mean, young, but so wise beyond his years, actually, and not wise in the sense that, yeah, he is very knowledgeable, but it's not about knowing it all. I mean, I know a lot too, but that doesn't mean anything if you don't actually live it. And yeah, back then, 2017, I really started living this and firsthand experiencing, under his guidance, of course, and not just him. I mean, before I even learned about him, I was already listening to Eckhart Tolle, Adyashanti, one of my favorites, and they all point out the same thing. Eckhart Tolle is saying, yeah, listen, you live now, there's no past, no future, it doesn't really matter. You've never been in the past and you've never been to the future, or you cannot go back to the past, which clearly shows that both past and future are not that relevant. Right now is relevant. And Adyashanti, yeah, I loved it when he said, like, nothing really ever happens. I mean, if you zoom out from the person, if you zoom out from what I call the soul, the blueprint, and the experience of many lifetimes here on Earth, if you zoom out from all of that, then you meet the I am, and it's what I call the I am this. So this is the person, or I am that. That's the soul. But you're none of that actually. You are the one being aware of that all. So you are the I am. And then Bentinho, 2017, said, you're not even the I am. You're the I of the am. The I who is amming. It's difficult to explain like this, but also English not being my first language. He calls this the I, like the I who is aware. And yeah, he had like this very helpful pointers to me. They call this the inquiry method, where you ask yourself a question without the need to answer it or to find an answer. And it's just a question of, okay, so there's a lot of thinking going on, but apparently I'm not the one thinking, I'm the one being aware of the thinking. Like, there's a lot of physical stuff going on, but I'm not the physical body, I am the one aware of the physical body. And immediately when I did this, I tapped into this awareness that could clearly see myself as like being the third person. I don't know if you're a gamer, but if you're a gamer, then you have first person view when you actually, like, you are in your head watching through your eyes, and then you have the third person view where you actually stand behind your character in the game and you see your character walking around. And I clearly saw this happen by asking the question, So who is the one aware of the thoughts? Who is the one aware of the character? And yeah, something shifted, and I've always known, but could not pinpoint it so clearly as I did with this practice. And I mean, I was in Barlo. It's a small town in the Netherlands, in this huge retreat place. It could hold easily up to 1,000 people, and we were there with like 500, filling half of the room. And it felt like coming home to me, like surrounded by other aliens, because I have always felt a bit of an alien in this life, like the odd one out. So I went into this mode that I know from meditation and working with trance. I did a lot of shamanistic work, drumming circles, and even hypnosis is a way to alter your state of being. And yeah, okay. Years later, I did ayahuasca, and but it all, it was all just stepping stones. Until at some point, I just lost complete grasp of life, of reality. Is what they call the ego death. But yeah, it's not like the ego is gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna like disappear or vanish or vanish into thin air. No, it's still there because it's very sticky. And we need it. I mean, it kept us alive for so long. So no, it's more about embracing the ego, embracing some call it the lower self, as being part of this journey. I mean, our body is an instrument. Our mind, my mind, is a very powerful instrument. Yeah, then peeling back all those layers, there was this nothingness at some point, and even nothingness is still something. So when I imagined myself standing on at the edge of nothingness, and beyond me there's a curtain, I could fall through the curtain of the nothingness into it's impossible to express. They call it the absolute or whatever, para Brahman. It's just words, just pointers. I went into a state of being where there was no time, there was no sense of self, just yeah. Well, okay, so it's not the point. I popped out on the other side of the wormhole. Like I went through all the veils of what we call reality. All the veils, all the curtains disappeared. And from then on out, I could see things or notice things or sense things they are way beyond our natural, our normal perceptions. The sense perceptions, as Eckhart Tolle calls them, like seeing with your physical eyes, smelling with your physical nose, hearing with your physical ears. And I just started remembering, this is what I used to do as a kid. I used to believe there was like a fantasy world something my mind created. And then I realized, no, this is not something the mind created. It is perhaps maybe what the mind tries to understand as being a fantasy world. But it's actually, well, you can call it a place, a realm, a hidden realm. And looking from there, one example, a metaphor is like looking in the, I don't know if you ever done this, but as a kid we used to make a shoebox, cut out the top part, so you can look into the shoebox, and then in the side of the shoebox you make a little hole where you can look through, and then in the shoebox you make these paper cut figures, and when you look into the shoebox you see the world. And this is how I felt for a long time, like I was outside of the shoebox looking into the world, and looking from outside in, things started to make sense to me, because things started to show themselves as they truly are. And when you're in it, it's, yeah, I mean, if you're like triggered and you're fully into your emotions and thoughts, and wow, it's hard to get this like neutral or clear view of things. But zooming out of it all and watching it from there happen, even while it was happening, that became like normal to me, and still is. And then I started realizing, wait, so this is what they call multidimensional perception. And it's not about timelines, and it's not about you have to move from 3D to 5D. No, the third dimension is here always. This is where the ego lives. This is where things are very black and white, because you can only come from this polarity place. You can only see it like it's either this or that. It's right or wrong. And as soon as you move into the fourth dimension, and it's not like it's more like a state of being, where you can see everything from this neutral place, point of view, I started seeing like, it's not this or that, it's this and that. It's all true. It's all tied into it. It's all, just reflection of a mirror, and a mirror, and a mirror, and a mirror, and a mirror. They call it the Hall of Mirrors. And sometimes when you're in the Hall of Mirrors, you see all these selves of you, all these separate versions of you. It's almost schizophrenic. But then again, if you zoom out of that and you just see, this is just the game we're playing as humans. So zoom out again of the fourth dimension and step into the fifth dimensional realm, or way of seeing things, vibrational level. Then I have this oversight. It's a very calm and quiet place. Things start to make sense there for me. And it helped me deal with so many human things, or cultural, or the way we were raised. I mean, in my upbringing, I was told many, many, many times, you're not realistic, you live in a fantasy world. Well, actually, you are living in a fantasy world and you believe it's real. It's so real for you that you cannot see it anywhere else. It relieved me of all the drama. And of course I still experience drama as well, but I experience it at the same time as like the 5D view, calmness, quiet, just nothing really ever happens. It's just happening over there. I'm not attached to it. I don't need anything from it. I'm okay. I'm always okay. Yeah, so a little bit of history and story about me and how I experience life right now. Thanks for being you, because the only one who can be you is you. There's no other you. Cheers.